Okay, so we took a little breather there. As I predicted, we ran out of memory, and we did, so before it started. So here we're back on track. Okay. Difficult to say what Earth is doing right now. Earth is kind of just getting on with what you guys are creating on. So there's no real trauma going on for Earth. Earth's time is much bigger than human time. So if you can imagine the human wave being like the heartbeat of a hummingbird versus the heartbeat of a snail. So, well, snails don't really have hearts. Let's do a tortoise for you. So let's imagine the heartbeat of a tortoise being very slow, they live very long, a hummingbird very fast. So your frequencies are slightly different. So your time frames don't match. So what happens here for humans happens there in very slow patterns for Earth. So some of the stuff you're doing now will take a while for it to go into effect for later on, and this is maybe the concept that you don't quite get. You are really creating it for future generations. You don't really care, but it does actually affect the ones that are still to be born. And the more awake you are, the more you'll actually understand the impact of how important it is to look after what you are sending out, because you're all actually part of that still. So even though you're going to move on, you're still going to feel and experience the effects of what you're leaving behind here. So that consciousness stays connected. You don't suddenly go, oh, okay, great, I'm in heaven, this is awesome. Yeah. No feeling for those guys over there. Yeah, here I'm out.
Poor earthlings.
Yeah, poor earthlings. Oh, but this ozone layer is gone. They're all wearing spacesuits. But you are still struggling with responsibility, and it's almost like a slice of humanity is actually becoming so apathetical, and there's some people that are becoming so, it's almost like the two opposites of each other. And especially if you look around, and what frustrates Nadia brings up a conversation for us, is that in South Africa it's become quite apparent that people are becoming more and more careless. They couldn't really give a hoot. And it will definitely change what's going to happen in 20 years' time. So the issues that people think that they don't care now, and they don't care how it's going to change what they are doing in 20, they're still going to be here, most of those people, in 20 years' time. Yet what they are sending out is, we don't care, we don't respect, we don't honor life. So what do you think is going to be the end result of that? And you would see that kind of attitude in history. What does it cause for certain countries and areas in the world when people just really don't care anymore? Those countries go down. So if people want this country to change, it needs to happen now, because you are still here versus planetary time. Human time is still what you're creating right here, right now. That's instant. That's more 5 years, few years, 2 years, months of what you're creating is going to have an effect later. When you talk about what's happening environmentally for Earth, that's longer term. That's bigger. We're talking about bigger time frames. The waves are different there. How do you shift when everyone else doesn't give a hoot? So if you change your vibration, your attitude, your way of thinking, your projections, you are sending out a frequency, like a wave, that can be felt by others and also goes into your environment. This is why when you talk about things like collective consciousness, those things actually do exist. They are real, and they are like science. So you are vibrational beings. You have a vibration, your electricity, and you're sending out energy like everything around you. This affects me, and so does this, and this. I affect this, and these guys. You might have noticed this in reality. You have a plant that you pay a lot of attention to. Then you withdraw your attention from your plant, and your plant shrivels up. You're still giving it the water, still feeding it, but you're not giving it attention and intention and energy And suddenly you're like, but what's happened to my plant? The moment you go, plant, what's going on? And then it goes, and you're like, ah! Okay, so in a minuscule form, that is what you can create out there. I can create a feeling, send it out to whatever I'm focusing on, your government, your health system, your roads, your schools, you focus on that thing, set an intention. I want to focus today on just this beach, South Africa's beach. I want this beach clean, or I want this politician to change, or I want this school, I want my kid's school to change, or the shop that I buy doesn't have organic, or whatever it is. You have no focus and intention to change those things. You just go, oh, I wish, and then it passes by. But there's no intent, there's no focus, there's no connection flowing there. And so you're not really energizing it. And of course, if you have more people thinking that same thought, you're creating more of that. So if you communicate that and link with people that are that, we'll take a moment. Okay, so we're back. So let's try and conclude and make it a little bit more concise. You have an intention of what you want to change. You don't focus on it, you pay no attention to it, and it never changes. You want something that you want to change. You focus on it, you pay attention to it, and it changes. So what you want to change in a positive, not putting what we talked about last time, bandwagon, going negative.
Worry.
If I want beauty, I focus on the beauty. I send it. You know what it feels like when you love something or care for something or pay attention even to something. I can either look at this thing and go, oh, or I can go, oh, but have you? And I'm suddenly enthusing this and invigorating and energizing and sending it the vibration that I'm raising, a good feeling that makes that change. So send the stuff that you want to change, even if you do it just as a thought, as a brainwave. Your brainwaves are still electrical. They're still sending out vibrations, even though you think they are tiny. They affect everything. Like everything affects you, you affect everything. And if you set the right intention and focus, it can take a little while. How long it ever takes, you will feel, oh, I'm complete with that. And then you can move on. Again, what we've talked about, no one's really practicing this enough. You have to have a time in your day that you set to do these things. You want your lives to change, yet you spend no time doing the stuff that you want to do.
Is this a bit like